So here are the title of today's notes. Today we're going to be talking about singular, possessive nouns. So make sure at the top of your new clean page, you are starting on a new clean page, make sure you're using the backs. We are talking about singular possessive nouns, and then write today's date, October 26th, 2020. This says singular, S-I-N-G-U-L-A-R, so one. Possessive, P-O-S-S-E-S-S-I-V-E. And then nouns, N-O-U-N-S. So singular, possessive, noun. So we're going to be talking about when one noun has or owns something. So I'll give you a minute to finish writing the title.
Miss Alice,
Yes, Carla?
what is the word in the middle?
Possessive, P-O-S-S-E-S-S-I-V-E. Possessive. The word possess means to own or to have something. So if a word is possessive, that turns that verb possess into an adjective, meaning it's describing that something has something. Okay, everybody good? Well, first, what is a possessive noun? Well, put your dot on the pink line. This is your first bullet point. And we're going to write the sentence, so this will have a capital at the beginning, because this we're going to write a sentence. Possessive nouns show ownership. I can't remember if I said this already, but I forgot to find a video for you guys. But we'll keep doing this on Wednesday, so I'll show you the video. I think you'll get it, but I'll show you on Wednesday. So a possessive noun shows ownership. A possessive noun shows ownership. So it means a noun possesses or owns or has something. Now, when you're done with that, go to the next line. Put some space between the pink line and a dash. So go to the next line, put some space between that pink line and your dash. We have another sentence. When a possessive noun, so when a possessive noun is used in front of another noun, it shows who or what owns that noun. So the possessive noun you will see before another noun. You wouldn't see it in front of a verb or an adjective or an adverb or anything like that. When you see a possessive noun, it is going to come right before. It is a noun, a person, place, thing, or idea, that is going to come right before another noun. There are going to be two different nouns. And you'll see why when we get to the guided practice. When you see the possessive noun, That tells you who or what owns that noun. And I'll show you some examples in a minute. So go right underneath your dash and line up your next dash with that one because we're still talking about possessive nouns. To form, not A, the possessive of most nouns. Now, does that mean every single one? If I say most nouns, does that mean every single noun in existence? No. To form the possessive, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot a word. But you just have to erase nouns and add in singular. To form the possessive of most singular nouns, comma, because that is a dependent clause. To form the possessive of most singular nouns, add an apostrophe. Some of you have been trying to use apostrophes forever and ever and ever. Well, now you finally get to use that apostrophe. Add an apostrophe, which I spelled wrong. You just erase the E and add H-E. I just forgot the H. It's not apostrophe, it's an apostrophe. Add an apostrophe, which looks like this. And the letter S to the end of the noun. I'll give you a minute. Oop, that is a period because that is a sentence. To form the possessive of most singular nouns, not every single one, but most of them, add an apostrophe, which looks like this, and the letter S to the end of the noun. I'll give you a minute to write that, and then we'll write a couple examples. Okay, some examples. So go to the next line. Line your EX, for example, up with your dashes. We're going to say the baby's bottle. Babies, B-A-B-Y apostrophe S, is the possessive noun. Now we're only talking about one baby, so even though we hear babies the same way that we hear B-A-B-I-E-S, it is not spelled the same. Because if we're showing possession, it's just the regular word baby, then apostrophe S. Because if I spelled B-A-B-I-E-S, am I using a possessive noun? What am I using if I write B-A-B-I-E-S? Zadie?
Plural.
Plural. So I mean more than one baby. If I have B-A-B-I-E-S, that means I am talking about more than one baby. Here, I'm talking only about one baby. I'm showing that the baby has or owns something. What does the baby have? Class.
A bottle.
A bottle. Because remember, when a possessive noun is used in front of another noun, it shows who or what owns that noun. So we have the possessive noun babies, B-A-B-Y apostrophe S, in front of the noun bottle, which shows that the baby has a bottle. Because how much sense would it make to write this every time? The bottle that the baby has is in the kitchen. Can you fill the bottle that the baby has with formula? Can you pick the bottle that the baby has up off the floor? Do we need to say that? No. We can just say, the baby's bottle is in the kitchen. Can you fill the baby's bottle with formula? Hey, pick up the baby's bottle off the floor. Another example, if we were talking about the river's current. these two nouns has something? Carla.
River.
The river. The river is the possessive noun. We took the singular river. We added apostrophe S to make it possessive. Well, we know whatever comes next is what the river owns. So what does the river own or have in this phrase? Victoria. A current. The river has a current. The river's current. We're not talking about more than one river. We're talking about one river that has a current. The Mississippi River's current can kill you. I mean, that's true. Do we go swimming in the Mississippi River?
No.
No. And you've probably heard that a million times. Do not go swimming. It's because of the Mississippi River's current. Are we talking about more than one river? If I'm saying the Mississippi River's current is dangerous, that was a better way to put it. Am I talking about more than one river? No. So one river has a current, so we can say the river's current. One more example. Jonathan's dinner. Jonathan's dinner. Well, what are we trying to say in that phrase? What are we trying to say in that phrase? Jonathan's dinner. Smith?
That is Jonathan's dinner.
So
not
what?
someone else's.
So what is the possessive noun in that phrase, Smith?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. Jonathan's is the possessive noun. Are we talking about more than one Jonathan? Smith?
No.
No, we're just talking about one Jonathan. We know because it has apostrophe S, not just S. And Smith, what does Jonathan have?
He has dinner.
He has dinner. So we can say Jonathan's dinner is in the oven for when he gets home. Or Jonathan's dinner is getting cold. Where is he? Or Jonathan's dinner is going to be gross if he doesn't eat it soon. Instead of saying the dinner of Jonathan is in the oven. Or the dinner that Jonathan has is getting cold. It's much easier to just say Jonathan's dinner instead of the dinner of Jonathan or the dinner that Jonathan has. Everybody good on possessive singular nouns? How do you feel? Okay, but how do you feel about them? It's okay if you're not done writing. How do you feel about them? You think you got it? Good, because that's all the notes we have for today. So, girls at home, go ahead and get out your guided practice. It says GP at the top, and it has page number 51 down at the bottom. Okay, so go ahead and read the first bullet point. Michaela.
A possessive noun is a noun that shows who or what owns or has something.
Good. Now we say owns or has because it would sound weird to say the current that the river owns. Because do we think of a river as owning anything? Not really. But it means the same thing as a river having something. So when we see a possessive noun, it's a noun that shows who or what owns or has something else. Because sometimes it's weird to think of something as owning, a river owning a current or a river owning a bottom. But it has that. So owns or has means basically the same thing. Read the second bullet point. Victoria.
A singular
Chunk it. It's also the same word that we've been saying a bunch. This whole lesson is about. Who can help her out? Cullen.
Possessive.
Michaela.
Possessive.
Possessive. So A. Start again.
A singular possessive noun is a singular noun that shows ownership.
So when we're talking about a singular possessive noun, it is a singular noun. So one thing, person, place, or thing, that has another thing. Next. Aaron.
Form a singular possessive noun by adding an apostrophe and s to a singular noun.
So to form a singular possessive noun, you just add apostrophe s to the end of that singular noun. Okay, make sure everybody is sitting up. Put myself in for this one. Why not? Okay, number 1. So the directions say, write the possessive form of each underlined singular noun. So that means, are you finished? Okay. So that means we're looking at the underlined noun. The underlined noun is singular, but it does not show possession. It is incorrect. It is wrong. So we have to fix it. So number 1, Mason. Ben Franklin almanacs are very funny to read. Ben Franklin is supposed to own something. What does he own or have? Where do we look to see? What? Almanacs. So Ben Franklin has almanacs. Well, how do we show that Ben Franklin has those almanacs? We can't just leave it as Ben Franklin almanacs. That would be saying like Mason glasses are on his face. Does that sound right? How should we say it? Instead of Mason glasses are on his face, how should we say that? Well, but we're talking about you right now. How would we say that, Michaela?
Mason's glasses are on his face.
Mason's glasses are on his face. Because we can't just leave it as Mason, we have to add apostrophe S. So instead of saying Ben Franklin almanacs are very funny to read, how should we write that? Okay, so we write Ben Franklin, and then what do we put on the end? We just rewrite the noun exactly as it appears. And to make it possessive, what do we do to Ben Franklin? Just an S? Apostrophe S. Very good. Now, does the apostrophe go before or after the S in singular possessive nouns? Smith?
The apostrophe goes before the S.
Good. In singular possessive nouns, the apostrophe goes before the S. Okay, Mason, thank you. Number 2, the book is the library, so please return it. Well, right now we're saying that the book is the library. Is that possible? Can a book be the library? So, Zari, what should it say? How should we write library? We're trying to show that it has something. Well, first, what does it have? What does the library have?
Books.
A book. So how do we need to write library to show that it has a book, not that it is a book? How do we write it, Zari?
The book is in the library.
We are not adding or taking out words. We are only fixing the underlined word. So we would not say the book is in the library, so please return it. Because if it's already in the library, would we need to return it? No, guys, we are doing singular possessive nouns. So we are taking the rule. It's telling you exactly what to do. Zari, how do you form a singular possessive noun?
Add an apostrophe and an E and an S.
So, do we add in to make it make sense? In the library?
No.
What do we do to the word library to make it possessive?
You would say the book is in the libraries.
We're not adding in. That would make the sentence not make sense. Zari, how do we fix library so that it shows that it has books? Zari, how do we form a singular possessive noun? Carla, please put your hand down. You missed a lot of this lesson. I'm not sure where you went. You need to ask for permission. Zari, how do we form a singular possessive noun? It's in your notes and it's on your page.
You would add an apostrophe and you would add an apostrophe and add es to a singular noun.
Do we add es?
You would add s.
Okay. So if we want to make library possessive, how do we change it? Do we change the way that library is written all by itself? Do we take anything out of the word library?
No.
No. So we write library. Well, we can't just leave it as library. So what do we do to it to show that it has books?
Add an apostrophe and an s.
Add apostrophe s. So now instead of saying the book is the library, so please return it, we say the book is the libraries, so please return it. But remember, we're not saying multiple libraries. We're not saying that the book is more than one library. We're saying the book belongs to the library, so that's possessive, not plural. Remember, possessive nouns and plural nouns may sound the same, but they are not. Does everybody understand that? I hope you do. Okay, number 3. People rang the church loud bells when there was a fire. Carla, we can't say people rang the church loud bells when there was a fire. That would be like saying Mason glasses are on his face. That doesn't make sense. So how do we fix that, Carla?
You add a
Apostrophe.
You add an apostrophe and a s.
To what? There's lots of words there. Which one do we add it to?
We add it to church.
So we take church, we write it exactly as it appears, but then to make it possessive, we add apostrophe s. Not es. That would be talking about more than one church. CHURCHES would be saying more than one church, which would still not make sense. People rang the more than one church loud bells when there was a fire. We have to say the church's loud bells. Please remember that plural and possessive are different. They are not the same. They may sound the same. Church's loud bells sounds the same as there are 6 churches in our town. But they are not the same. This is more than one. This means the church has something. What does the church have, Carla?
It has bells.
Good. Let's do that. Let's draw an arrow from the possessive noun, even though it's written incorrectly, to what it has. So Mason, what did Ben Franklin have? Almanacs. Good. And Zari, what did the library have?
Books.
Books. And now Carla, what does the church have? Carla, what does the church have? I think you're on mute.
Bells.
Bells. Very good. Okay, number 4, the inventor fame spread throughout the nation. Well, that's not right, Miss Folis. First, what does the inventor have? Well, the inventor doesn't have the, it doesn't have spread, the inventor doesn't have throughout, the inventor doesn't have the inventor doesn't have a nation, the inventor has fame. So do you see why owns is not the best word? Because can you own fame? Can you buy it and purchase it? No, but you can have it. So it means pretty much the same thing. Now, how do I make inventor plural? I'm sorry, not plural, possessive. Well, I'm talking about one inventor and how he has fame. So I'm going to write the word inventor. Please make sure you're spelling it right. Inventor is not spelled T-E-R, it is spelled T-O-R. And then to show that this inventor has fame, I am going to add apostrophe S. Number 5, Colin, have you seen Mary bifocals? Does that sound right? No. What does Mary have in this sentence? Bifocals, which are a type of glasses. Now, how do we show that Mary owns or has those bifocals?
By adding apostrophe S.
To Mary. So we write Mary, and then we just add apostrophe S. Number 6, Ben Franklin was one of America's best-known citizens. That doesn't sound right. Zadie, first of all, we know we're looking at America. What does America have? Does it have Ben Franklin? Does it have was?
No.
Does it have one?
No.
Does it have of?
No.
Does it have best known?
No.
Does it have citizens?
Yes.
So America owns or has what?
Citizens.
Citizens. Now, do you notice how it was kind of confusing at first? Zadie, do you admit you were a little bit confused at first? But when we went through each word and said, well, does America own Ben Franklin? No. Does America own was? Definitely not. That's not even a thing. Does America own one? No. Does America own of? No. Does America own best known? Well, that's an adjective, so we can't own an adjective. So it must be citizens. Do you see how we went through and we picked the one that made sense? We went through, we read them all because we were a little confused. We read them all, and then once we read them all, we were like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Do you see that? So sometimes you'll have to do that on your own. Please do that. Don't just guess. Because once we went through, if you just guessed, oh, it was Ben Franklin, would that make sense? Would that sound pretty silly to the person who graded it? Would that make them question you and your sanity? Yes. So make sure that you're doing that. Okay, how do we show that America has citizens?
You add an apostrophe and an S
To what?
to the underlined word of America.
So we write America exactly as it appears. It is a proper noun, so I better see a capital. And then we add apostrophe S. Okay, number 7. Smith, this old book pages are torn. What does book have?
It has pages.
It has pages. Now, book pages doesn't make sense. So how do we fix that to show that the book has pages?
We write book on the line and add apostrophe S.
Sorry, what do you have in your hands right now? Put it on the desk. Okay. That is not okay at all. I will be emailing your mom, and you will lose at least 10 points. You have got to focus on what we're doing. You may think you know what you're doing, but you don't. I'm sorry, Smith. What did you tell us? How do we show that the book has pages?
We add apostrophe S.
To what?
To book.
So we write book exactly as it appears, and then we add apostrophe S. That's ridiculous. I can't believe I have to tell that to 4th graders. To a 4th grader. Number 8. My doctor advice is to exercise more. Ethan,
My doctor.
what does the doctor have?
Advice.
Good. If we were a little confused, well, we could go through each word. He doesn't have my. He doesn't have is. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have exercise. He doesn't have more. He has advice. Now, how do we show that he has advice? How do we write that? How do we write that? Do we just add S? It's right here. Not a comma. It's right here. Look, you guys can go back and you can look if you're not sure how to put it. It's right here. How do we show that the doctor has something? Do we change the way doctor's written, Ethan? Do we change any of the letters in doctor? Does doctor stay the same? Do we take anything out of doctor? No. Does it say to take anything off? No. So we write doctor, and then we do what? We add apostrophe S. Okay, number 9, Michaela. The key was tied to the kite long string. Well, that doesn't make sense. What does the kite have, Michaela? A string. Now, we can't just write kite. How do we show that the kite has a long string? Do we change any of the letters in kite? No. So what do we do? Because we can't just write kite. What do we do to show that it has that long string? Add apostrophe S. Okay, has everybody had a chance to do one of these? Not everybody. Who has not had a chance to do one? Victoria and Aaron, because you got called to read these, so we'll go ahead. Okay, number 10, the battery power is running low. Victoria, the battery has something. What does the battery have? Power. How do we write battery to show that it's possessive? Do we change any of the letters in battery? No, so we write battery and then we do what? Because we can't just leave it like that.
We add S apostrophe.
Okay? And you have to tell me in the right order. You can't tell me put an S and an apostrophe because then I'm going to think you're telling me to do this. S apostrophe. But is that what we do? No, we add an apostrophe and an S. Okay, number 11. The lawyer advice was quite helpful. Well, we know the lawyer has something. Aaron, what does the lawyer have? Advice. Can you own a verb?
No.
Can you own an adjective? No. Can you own an adverb? No. Can you own a noun? Yeah. You can have or own a noun. You cannot have or own an adjective, verb, or adverb. So that will help you. Because you know whatever they own, it has to be another noun. Okay? Well, the lawyer has advice. How do we show that the lawyer has advice? Do we change the way lawyer is written? No, we write lawyer, but we can't just leave it as lawyer because that's how it already is. We know it's wrong. So what do? We add apostrophe S. Has everybody had a chance to do one of these? Oh, Kingston. Okay. I was like, there's one missing, but it's because Kingston's not here. Okay, everybody feel good about it?
You took Kingston's.
Okay, I'm not going to continue because you guys I think you get it. But so let's look at the independent practice. So this is the front. Has a dog and a teddy bear. The back says whose is it and has a giraffe down at the bottom. Right now we're looking at the front. So everybody look at the front with the dog and the teddy bear. Let's talk about what we're going to do. It says, complete each sentence. Write the possessive of the noun in parentheses. Well, if you look, we have an example. It says the blank the blank toy squeaks, and we have puppy in parentheses underneath. That means we are writing puppy as a possessive noun to show that it has a toy. So what you need to do is you need to figure out, okay, how do we make puppy possessive? Well, puppy is singular. How do we make it possessive? Michaela? By adding apostrophe S. So you're going to look at numbers 1 through 10. The word that you are making possessive is written right under the line in parentheses. Does everybody see that? Carla, I don't know why you have your scissors out. Those should be in your box, nowhere near you right now. So that's what you're doing on the front. You're taking the singular noun in parentheses under the line and making it possessive. Look at the back. This one, you're doing the same thing. You're just taking it a step further. Make sure that you read all of these words up top. The directions are the very first thing underneath whose is it. They say rewrite the highlighted words as possessive nouns. Be careful, some of the other words might get switched around. So for each of these, you have highlighted words. Does everybody see them? Well, let's look at the example. The example sentence says, the necklace belonging to Mom is made from pearls. So we have to change belonging to Mom so that it is possessive. Well, what belongs to Mom? In that sentence, what belongs to Mom? Class.
Necklace.
The necklace. So instead of saying the necklace belonging to Mom is made from pearls, they changed it so that it said Mom's necklace is made from pearls. So do you notice how they had to switch some words around? They couldn't say the necklace Mom's is made from pearls because remember, the possessive noun has to come before the noun that it owns. Mom's is the possessive noun. Necklace is what she owns. So that means Mom's has to come before the thing she owns, which is necklace. Does everybody understand? After you are done fixing the sentence, you need to reread it to yourself to make sure that you wrote it correctly. Because if you changed it to the necklace Mom's is made from pearls, well, as soon as you read that, you'd be like, oops, I did it wrong. Let me fix it. So make sure after you fix it that you go back and you read it and you make sure it makes sense. Does everybody understand? Okay, you have about 5 minutes. So go ahead and begin.